This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Good morning. It's Wednesday, May 21st, 2025. Mental health is real. Seek help, end the stigma. On the news this morning. Former council chairman says Governor Fubara yet to fulfill peace terms. Nelfon decries low applications by Rivers University. 7 inmates escape from Oshu prison. On the foreign scene, Gaza aid yet to reach civilians. Details of these and more after this break.
A painful sunset.
Now, former chairman of Emuaha local government area, Dr. Chidi Lloyd, says the suspended Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara is yet to implement the terms and conditions set by the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike. His comment follows speculations that the political rift between FCT Minister and Governor Fubara may have been resolved after the minister referred to Governor Fubara as his boy and son. In a recent interview, speaking to our correspondent, Dr. Lloyd said some of the conditions include a public apology to the former chairman of the Rivers State Council of Traditional Rulers, Oha Sergeant Awuse, members of the State House of Assembly, former local government chairman, among others. He said there can be no meaningful reconciliation in Rivers State without justice.
I've heard people bandy the word reconciliation, the minister and Mr. Fubara about settling and so on. But I think that there cannot be any meaningful reconciliation without justice. People are confusing the fact that it is not the FCC minister that was wounded in this imbroglio. And that was why the FCC minister kept hammering on structure. So there are equally aggrieved persons. I am equally aggrieved. All of my other colleagues are aggrieved because we are in separate coordinators. So let us not speak peace of the graveyard. Let us speak genuine peace.
Dr. Lloyd also claimed Governor Fubara is yet to show genuine commitment to peace. He stressed that for peace to return, the suspended governor must ally himself with the advice proffered by the FCT minister.
I haven't heard anybody from the Fubara camp who has come out to say, we are sorry for all that we did. I'm not carried away by all the things that happened. The people are not sincere. I've always said so. If Governor Fubara can relate on agreement, he entered into willingly in the presence of the president. So when he starts from somewhere, the minister gave him a leeway. Start from somewhere, we will report to our critics. How would he not reconcile with members of the state assembly whose salary is fixed for 2 years? You think they don't have apology? The minister is telling him, look, it's not about me. The Bible says, pursue peace. So you cannot strain to assist peace. You must pursue it.
While reacting to this, APC chieftain Chizi Enyi says it is not true that the suspended governor Siminalayi Fubara is not genuine in his reconciliatory moves. Speaking in an interview with our correspondent, Enyi criticized former Emuaha local government chairman Chidi Lloyd for asking the governor to apologize to former chairman of Rivers State Council of Traditional Rulers, Oha Sergeant Awuse, members of the State House of Assembly, former local government chairman, among others.
This is the type of thing we are facing here in Rivers State. How will a sitting governor render a public apology to individual as a condition to make peace. Instead of people to meet the governor for peace, but the governor has stooped so low. And if the governor is not genuine in his peaceful move, why will he even tell his supporters to stop abusing anybody? Even those writing on social media have all stopped, and yet Chidi Lloyd is busy saying this and that, still trying to foment problems.
In another development, an advocate of good governance, Chioma Chukwu, has criticized a recent comment by the River State Sole Administrator, retired Vice Admiral Ibokete Ibas, in which he claimed to be laying a solid foundation for the state. Speaking to our correspondent, Chukwu, who is also a lawyer, said the Sole Administrator appears to be drifting from his primary mandate of promoting peace among the warring political factions.
It is important to understand that the very basic reason for which the sole administrator was sent to Rivers State is to ensure that peace and orderliness or perceived conflict among the political gladiators in the state is restored to its original state. Anything that is not within the purview of restoring peace among the political gladiators is actually the ambit of the very basic responsibility of the sole administrator. When you begin to appoint sole administrators for local government council, it means that you are now beginning to play politics and now begin to usurp the powers of the elected governor of the state.
Chioma Chukwu called on the sole administrator to work with relevant stakeholders to restore lasting peace in the state.
What people would have believed to be the right step in the right direction of the sole administrator is to have a town hall meeting between the two political gladiators where these persons would interface and then unleash whatever that is their anger. But we have not seen, even from the local government level or the ward level, where the sole administrator had put up call across to a few persons or even the two political stakeholders to say, please, what indeed is the problem in Rivers State? All we have seen play out in Rivers State is the appointment of persons to political offices. Even the practice peace that is now seen between the two political gladiators, it's even been made by the presidency or the president as it were.
Moving on now. A political analyst, Mr. Liberus Oshoma, says former Vice President Atiku Abubakar should step aside and support Labour Party chieftain Peter Obi in the 2027 elections. He spoke to correspondent Obi Oduware while reacting differently to the idea of Peter Obi teaming up with Atiku Abubakar for a joint presidential ticket. He warned that Obi might face political setbacks if he agrees to run alongside Atiku.
I don't know why Atiku wants to be in the ballot at all costs. Atiku's political journey has ended with Buhari's presidency. Peter Obi will be making the greatest mistake of his time by teaming with Atiku to become running mate to Atiku. Except he teams with Atiku and Atiku supports him to be president. But going back to Atiku, going back to his Bami, after he has left to stand on his own and he went the whole hog and saw the support that people gave him, he will be taking the Nigerian teaming youth who supported him for a ride if he goes to join Atiku for 2027.
Not everyone agrees with him. A former commissioner for employment in River State, Dr. Lenu Wibubasa, sees potential in the joint ticket. He believes it could bring benefit to the Southeast and thinks Atiku should still run against President Tinubu.
That there is a plan by the Nigerian people to come into a coalition to dislodge this government that has failed us in the area of provision of security for Nigerians, in the area of welfare. But you see, talking about the coalition, it is clear that we need a president that is more experienced, that will unify the country. And I have always opined that by the experience of Atiku Abubakar remains the only rallying figure, the last left to reposition Nigeria on the path of progress and development.
On his part, elder statesman Anab Saraiwe urged those pushing for the coalition to start firming up their plans well ahead of the general elections.
In politics, there are so many dynamics. The position for them to wrestle power, there must be mend friends, they must come together. They need to work hard and find themselves a new name, a new platform to be able to unseat Mr. President. If not, I don't see how possible it is. Political relation, there is no permanent agreement in politics. When a man becomes president, you should allow him to go for 2 terms. So whatever they agree, then a gentleman agreement and allow it to end. But constitutionally, it is not possible.
The Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, has called on the 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, to join governors of the South-East to work with President Bola Tinubu. He made this call in a feature interview for an upcoming State House documentary marking President Tinubu's 2nd anniversary. Umahi claimed the regional governors were supporting the president regardless of their political affiliations. He said the region is witnessing a new wave of federal attention and infrastructure development under President Tinubu. Away from that, the Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Ahmed Dangiwa, says the ministry will sell the houses recovered from the former governor of CBN, Godwin Emefiele, to the public and for special government needs. The minister said this while taking delivery of a 753-unit housing estate from the chairman of the EFCC. Coming up next, Nelfund decries law applications by Rivers University. Stay with us.
Celebration of
You're welcome back, and now the rest of the news. Some commercial drivers say they have stopped picking up or dropping off passengers at the Obirikwere flyover during night hours. They told our correspondent that the area has become unsafe with a rise in petty crimes happening on the flyover. They're calling on the Rivers State Sole Administrator, retired Vice Admiral Ibokete Ibas, to urgently fix the broken street light in the area.
It's good to put street light on that place, at that Obirikwere flyover, for security reasons.
It's very important because in Eleme Junction, there are street lights everywhere now, and because of that, crime has reduced to the barest minimum. I don't know the reason why it is not in Obirikwere, which is a major flyover around here. I don't even drop at Obirikwere. I don't even carry Obirikwere at all. Once it is 7 o'clock, Obirikwere is written off from my agenda.
I would like my government put light there because many things they happen there. When person sees a light, they that place to waka go dey easy for people. Because the light no dey there, no figure somebody from there by 8 or by 9. Nothing will make me stop. Make them help or pull like that so that place go free. People will carry go dey free. We will be driver go dey free.
I've been attacked there severally, and that is why I don't even stop there. Anybody going to Obirikwere does not enter my motor at all.
One victim of bag snatching also shared her experience, saying she lost valuable items because the flyover was in complete darkness.
The other day I was coming back from work, so I didn't see a taxi. I just said, let me try. Maybe on my way I can see any taxi. I passed 2 guys. I greeted them. The next thing I know, they just snatched my bag. 2 people were coming, but did not even intervene because there was no light. I wish there was street light. Everyone would be very bright. People would be very comfortable to walk around. So government should try and put street light there.
And now a youth leader in Ahoda East local government area, Mr. Hector Ekaketa, says local vigilante groups can only be effective if their members are properly profiled and allowed to carry firearms. Ekaketa, who also serves as chief security officer of Ahoda East, told correspondent Emekotoka that vigilante members often become targets for criminals and gangs because they have little to no protection. He was reacting to a recent call by the Rivers State Commissioner of Police, CP Olubenga Adeboju, who urged communities to set up vigilante groups to support the work of security agencies.
Local vigilantes by various communities is a welcome development, but where it will not be conducive. You don't just set up a committee without doing proper profiling because it will cause more havoc as time goes on. And what kind of arms are they going to carry? The locally made arms or English made? Because you don't expect them, when they see criminals, then they will only use their knife or clothes to hide them. What if somebody carries AK-47? What do you do? You call police, by the time police get there and the lack of that thing has been taken. What do? You control the family.
Ekaketa also called for proper funding of these local security groups by the state or local government, saying it would help prevent the kinds of excesses already seen in some communities. Elsewhere, 7 inmates have escaped from the medium security custodial center in Ilesha, Osun State, after the facility's old perimeter wall collapsed. Now, their escape followed an overnight rainfall on Tuesday, with the breach occurring around 2 a.m. and was caused by the structural failure of the wall during the storm. Spokesman of the Nigerian Correctional Service, Omar Abubakar, who made this known in a statement, said authorities had since launched a manhunt to locate and return the escapees to custody. The Controller General of Corrections, Sylvester Ndidi Nwakuche, has also ordered an immediate investigation into the incident. To education stories now, the Nigeria Education Loan Fund has raised concerns over the low student loan application in Rivers State University. The Managing Director, Akitunde Soya, said this during the Strategic Engagement and Sensitization Campaign on Operations of the Fund in Port Harcourt on Tuesday, represented by the Director of Administration, NEL Fund, Dr. Zino Uboma. Soya said while the primary purpose of the visit was to strengthen ties with the university, a recent internal review revealed troubling statistics related to student participation in their programs. He explained that the data presented showed a low registration rate, noting that the University of Port Harcourt has 3,000 applications, while the Rivers State University has only 1,500 applications. Lawmakers are still calling for the cancellation of the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination UTME. Now, this time, it is the chairman of the Southeast Caucus in the House of Representatives, Iduma Igariwe, who described the exam as a catastrophic institutional failure that has compromised the integrity and fairness of the process. Reacting to JAMB's claim that a technical glitch and human error caused the issue, Igariwe said the decision to reschedule the exams within 48 hours was unreasonable and poorly thought out. To health matters now, eclampsia has been identified as the major cause of maternal deaths in Rivers State. Eclampsia is a condition during pregnancy in which a woman with high blood pressure and signs of organ damage develops convulsions. The reproductive health coordinator for the maternal, perinatal and child death surveillance and response, MPCDSR, focal lead, Ministry of Health, Dr. Irorewu Smith, made this known during the MPCDSR 2023/2024 report dissemination meeting in Port Harcourt. Dr. Smith said the aim of the report is to get facilities to identify preventable causes of maternal and child death.
It's not expected that a woman waits till the 8th month before she goes to the facility to register. Immediately she finds out she's pregnant, she should go. Why? This condition, eclampsia, is noticed earlier on based on one symptom. It's raised blood pressure. So when the healthcare facility worker notices that there is raised blood pressure, it immediately makes them prepare for likely preventive measures. Also, we have protein in the urine, and those are simple routine tests that are carried out.
On her part, National Chairman of the Child Survival Subcommittee, Professor Alice Nte, said herb usage, massage, poor care and non-treatment of infections are some of the causes of child death. She called for improved emergency services and advised pregnant women to deliver in facilities that can provide emergency care.
If you look at many of those children that die, they are not dying from congenital malformations that are life-threatening. Many are dying from infections, fetal distress, because they could not reach the next level of care. We need to improve our emergency services. Time was in Rivers State when emergency ambulances were available. So women who had registered for antenatal care could access free cesarean sections. And we need to do that because we must bring down maternal death.
Also, the Permanent Secretary, Rivers State Ministry of Health, Mekele Igwe, said the ministry is doing all it can to expand its reach in maternal and child death reporting. She was represented by the ministry's Director of Public Health, Dr. Akbo Ndubisi.
We are here to look at the documents that we've collected data from some sites in the state. So those data has to do with neonatal deaths and then the evaluation of what led to such deaths with the view of learning from it and then using what we have learned to prevent further and additional maternal and child death. We are doing all within our means to expand our reach in surveillance as it has to do with maternal and child death reporting.
We go on a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll wrap up the news.
There is nothing you cannot do.
Nigeria Info. We'll be right back.
On the international scene, the UN says no aid has yet been distributed in Gaza despite aid lorries starting to cross the border after an 11-week blockade. Israeli officials said 93 trucks entered Gaza on Tuesday carrying aid including flour, baby food, medical equipment and pharmaceutical drugs. But the UN said despite trucks reaching the Palestinian side of the Kerem Shalom crossing, no aid has been distributed so far. Its spokesperson, Stefan Dujarric, said a team waited several hours for Israel to allow them to access the area, but they were not able to bring those supplies into their warehouse. That's a wrap on the news this morning. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. A former council chairman says Governor Fubara is yet to fulfill peace terms. Nelfund has decried low applications by River State University. The Nigerian Correctional Service is on the hunt for 7 inmates who escaped from Oshuk prison. On the foreign scene, the UN says Gaza aid is yet to reach civilians. The news was edited by Martha Okere. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechukwu Mwanyeli. Many thanks for listening.